Mr. Speaker, I was looking for my very good friend Sticker to congratulate him for the vigorous campaign he mounted in defense of his candidate towards the NPP parliamentary the presidential elections. I also want you to take the result you got in good faith. But did I hear you say that we don't even understand what we are doing? Honorable Speaker, it appears your constituent also didn't even know what you were talking about because your candidate lost in your constituency. So Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, it appears all the dancing, all the vigorous campaign, your constituents alone didn't even understand what you were talking about. So they voted against your candidate. Mr. Speaker, I heard my colleagues. Sometimes I agree with them when they say that as political actors, we should be principled. And it's very important so that the country doesn't think that anytime we do things, we don't think deeply about it. But Mr. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, in fact, at the point, recently I heard you arguing that you were supposed to occupy a position, but they didn't give it to you. Hold on. Oh, what is wrong with you? Mr. Speaker, oh, I'm coming to the policy. Oh, just sit down. I'm coming to the policy. Yes. Wait, I'm coming to the policy. Oh, wait.
All of you, resume your seats.
Yes.
Honorable Agbodza. Honorable Kwame Agbodza, just hold it. All of you, resume your seats. Honorable members, let me indicate that we've all spent more than a year. We need to conduct business within the rules. If you have something to say, catch the eye of the speaker. You will be called to raise your issue. It is disorderly to just get up and be shouting. That is not the way it is done. Honorable Kwame Agbodza, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I heard my colleagues from the other side talk about no need to set up the 24-hour economy authority. The same people who found it necessary, despite the fact that we had Ghana Education Trust Fund, Ministry of Education, and yet set up development authorities to build 6 unique classrooms. When Adaklu Assembly was already building KVIPs, you gave that right to another authority called the Middle Belt Authority. Indeed, that is not what we are doing. Honorable Speaker, you did not actually understand the definition of what 24-hour economy is. And let me give you, Honorable Speaker, sit down. Do you have a copy of the bill? Don't go. I'm asking you if you have a copy of the bill. Let me take you to. Now you run away. Let me take you to. Okay, very good. He's now asking me to tell him what 24-hour economy is. Honorable Speaker, let's take to page 12. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Stephen Amoah, we listen to you in silence. It is true that in your submission, you say they do not know what 24-hour economy is. You ask 4 people, and they give you different definitions. So he is on that point that you have raised. Okay. So let's listen to him.
Honorable Speaker, sit down. When you were speaking, I was here. Don't go. Let's sit down. On page 12 of the bill itself, it says, under interpretations, 24-hour economy and accelerated development program means a cross-sectorial economic development program that seeks to modernize, reorganize, and restructure the productive sectors of the economy to achieve, amongst other things, and they listed these things. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, he obviously did not read this, so he put those things out. Mr. Speaker, I read the bill and I read the memorandum. It is a very good thing, Mr. Speaker, and that is why I was at least he said something that in his view the policy is not wrong, but in his view it is good policy, but he thinks that we do not know what we are doing. At least he knows that the policy is good, and this is why I'm coming to tell him one of the good things about the policy. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy policy is not a project where you have a shortcutting, where you have an office set up and then there will be things like the budget you saw about. It's about coordination. Once you see the definition of this, you understand what it means. Mr. Speaker, I also hear him saying that what we promised was to have entities running 24 hours, and he's not sure if any private enterprise is doing that. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy is already in motion. Mr. Speaker, the object of the bill, let me read paragraph 5. The object of the bill is to establish a 24-hour economy authority to ensure the integration, sustainable transformation of national system for economic production, supply chain, market and labor power development, and to provide related matters. Mr. Speaker, for you to have a clear synergy between the supply chain, you need good roads in this country. The whole point of the big push is to serve as a catalyst to address these things. So the 24-hour economy is not yet coming. It is already here being implemented. And Mr. Speaker, let me tell you this. There are contractors working under the big push who are currently working 24 hours to make sure that we meet these objectives. I can show you where they are. And the jobs we are talking about, the last time you were here, you said that the big push only creates menial jobs. When you have civil engineers, quantity surveyors, many people working for the rest of the big push project, you cannot say that the job of a civil engineer is not necessary. So indeed, thousands of jobs are already being created under this. And even after the building, there will be maintenance contract that will be carried on this, Mr. Speaker. So I just want colleagues to understand, since Mr. Honorable Speaker says that he's not against it, this is what you do. And let me tell you, when you were sitting, we opposed things, but tell me one of the things we opposed that did not come to pass that we were right. We don't oppose just for the sake of opposition, but you are in a haste to oppose for nothing. And that is why you get it wrong. I'm giving you my simple understanding of it. Be very careful what you oppose. The last time I came here, we talked about the Kumasi Expressway. A few of you jumped on it and said you were not in favor of it. At least the proponent of that opposition came back to rationalize his position to say that he is no longer against it. By the way, the Accra-Kumasi Expressway is coming on, whether you like it or not. Get ready for it. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy will actually create jobs. It will spur growth in our country. I agree with my colleagues that we should be careful what we are trying to do under this policy. And I agree with them. We shouldn't just rush and do anything. We should take their views also on board. But don't just oppose it and say that we don't know what we are doing. Because, Mr. Speaker, this is one of the smallest bills we've done in this House. But it's quite detailed in terms of the understanding of it. And I encourage my colleagues to support this bill. Let's set up this. This is not going to be just another Kwango that is set up to create jobs for the boys. It will be a catalyst that will spur development in our country. And I want to encourage our colleagues to support this bill. And then when it comes to the consideration stage, we bring all the views we have to make it a rich bill that will stand the test of time. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Give guidance as to how many more we should take. Yes, leadership.
Speaker, I was just trying to negotiate with my colleague on the other side. We're thinking that we can do 3-3 before leadership. Speaker, this is 24 hours.
Including those who have spoken?
No, they have spoken already. I'm talking about outstanding. We have 3 outstanding, they have 3 outstanding, then leadership, respectfully. This is 24-hour economy. It's multi-touted, everybody has...
No, we have the policy debate that will come. The policy was laid and referred.
Speaker,
so it will come forward.
Honorable Abujinapo is ready. Samuel Abujinapo is ready.
Well, leaders agree on something and then let me implement. Is that the sense of the House? They say 3 more.
Very
well.
Thank you.
Very well. I will give the floor to the senior man. Honorable Animedu Entry, were you on your feet?
Mr. Speaker, I am very, very, very dumbfounded that my colleagues on the other side are trying to suggest, that we should not have an authority for the 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, we were all in this chamber in the 8th Parliament. Our friends on the other side touted the senior high school free SHS. And for 4 years, we sat here. In fact, Mr. Speaker, one day they made us sit here. And they said the bill was on its way. We should wait. It was coming. Mr. Speaker, we sat here from Anopa to Anajo. From the Safe to the Dere. The bill never came. Up to today, these people. This is what they did with the free senior high school. Come back and sit down. Mr. Speaker, and I am very surprised that my learned brother who is running away from the chamber made reference to the free senior high school and suggesting that within 3 months, the MPP government had implemented it. Mr. Speaker, you and I know the story of the free senior high school very well. Look, it was chaotic, strikes, no food, gari and palm oil. We saw it all. And this is what happens when you implement a program without a policy, without thinking through it. Mr. Speaker, running a country, fashioning out policy and programs to run a country is not a 3 months business. And they should not be proud of that record. Mr. Speaker, since the NDC government came into power, 7 January 2025, have you heard of a single strike from any senior high school complaining about no feeding? Have we heard about any strike actions, any demonstrations, school children complaining that they haven't been fed? This is what you get when you provide good governance. This is what you get when you provide governance that invests time in fashioning out policies that will have enduring practicality, not just coming to do propaganda and sacrificing the future of our children. Mr. Speaker, export promotion and export development are 2 distinct things. They are never the same. And that is why the 24-hour economy says it is productivity, competitiveness, and inclusive growth. And if you read the preface to the 24-hour economy, And His Excellency President Mahama said, we are going to consume what we produce.
Yes.
And when we export with value. We are cutting out the export of raw materials. Mr. Speaker, this week, today, this morning, I woke up coming to work and I felt proud as a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
My only regret, Mr. Speaker, was that I didn't see the news item before I left home. I would have come here in my fugu. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has given expression to the productivity and export of finished Ghanaian products by arriving in Zambia in his beautiful Ghanaian fugu. Mr. Speaker, to imagine that Zambians decide that based on that, they are going to wear our fugu. That is export of developed products, export of finished products, 24-hour economy markets. Imagine each market has a processing or a fugu developing plant. The number of fugu that we will produce and export to Zambia and other places in the world. This is what we mean when we talk about the 24-hour economy. Yeah. We are not talking about export promotion. We are talking about export development. We will develop the products, we will develop what we have and export it so that we gain value on our produce. Mr. Speaker, I heard my brother questioning the 24-hour economy shift program. He is not aware. Maybe he should have asked me.
Yes.
He is not aware that the Minister of Transport and the DVLA are building DVLA offices in every district in this country, including my own good Salaga South. And those officers are going to employ the youth and the Ghanaians who are looking for jobs. And if at the end of the day, we employ them and they require 24-hour shift service, 8-hour shift service, that is exactly what we will provide. We never will run away from that campaign promise. Mr. Speaker, today, I'm having to work in my municipal hospital, and I'm asking for quarry dust from the Upper East region. And I'm told that the dust has to travel throughout the night, because when they travel during the day, because of the heat, the weather, it affects the tires. That is what 24 hours means. Yeah. That enough security will be provided so that our trucks, goods and services can be conveyed 24 hours across the country safely. Mr. Speaker, at Salaga, in a community in my constituency called Bunkwa, we produce the best yam in the country. Fortunately, the road minister is here. In the budget, we were told that 1,000 kilometers of roads are going to build to farming areas and communities. So that goods from produce will be moved to the market centers. So if a 24-hour economy exists in Salaga, and we bring all the yam there, and all the importers come to Salaga and buy the yam around the clock, Mr. Speaker, that's vibrant economy for the people of Salaga. sits here in this house and tries to suggest that one, we should not have an authority because some other authorities already exist, to what extent did those authorities provide service to affect the local people in this country? This is a policy that is drilling down to the people of this country. It's not going to be a headquarters sitting in Accra and people don't know what is happening. Every district, 24-hour economy will be represented in every district. Mr. Speaker, I don't know that there's an export promotion office in Salaga. No. I don't know about that. But I know, as we speak, and I've seen the prototype of the 24-hour market. Hospitals, fire stations, police stations, everything is in there. Pharmacies, clinics, to provide service to the good people of this country around the clock. And that is what sensitive leaders do. Leaders who think about the people. Yes. President Mahama had the option yesterday to arrive in Zambia in a Louis Vuitton suit. He can afford it. He wore the fugu from Daboya. He wore the fugu from Daboya. And I know when he's coming back in promotion to where our Ghanaian made, because we'll be producing it here. We will consume what we produce. And so our factories will work 24 hours. Yes. Our security services will work 24 hours. Our hospitals will work 24 hours. And our markets will work. We salute all our market women in this country. They should look forward to the 24-hour economy market. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Jerry Ahmed, will you be yielding the leadership to somebody behind you?
Even the list I shared with you. Respectfully, that was your discretion. We had agreed here that it was going to be Kabiru, then Honorable Kojo Ponkuma.
We only agreed on the number.
Yes, and it was supposed to be 3-3 and 1 at leadership.
The list that you gave me has Jinapo, Kabiru, and leadership.
Speaker,
but in practice, when the most senior is on his feet, my hands are tied. So will you yield to Honorable Kabiru? Yes?
Mr. Speaker, the arrangement you had, Mr. Speaker, this is a very important matter we are discussing. Honorable Kojo Nkrumah is the ranking on the economy. Dr. Kabiru, when he was making the list, as you see, you could see that our senior colleague, Honorable Anyimedu, was not included, but we agreed that it was supposed to be 3. And leadership, and like your own wisdom concluded, he's senior on his feet. So what I'm saying that, Mr. Speaker,
but that doesn't change the number 3-3.
Mr. Speaker, we have Dr. Kabiru on the list, and Kojo Nkrumah, who is the
Honorable, I just asked a simple question. On this note, would the leadership yield to Dr. Kabiru?
No, Mr. Speaker. Dr. Kabiru will speak. And
leadership of the minority, you have the floor. Leadership of the minority, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to contribute to this report that has been laid before the House. I first want to lay a proviso before I discuss about 4 issues from this side of the House. First, Mr. Speaker, is the fact that this bill, that was the authority bill, is supposed to be based on the 24-hour economy policy. Mr. Speaker, at the time this bill was brought to this House, the policy document was not before this House. In fact, it was yesterday, on the 4th of January 2026, that the policy document itself was brought. On the 4th earlier that you are building the first floor before the foundation. Mr. Speaker, today we will cooperate and work with our colleagues, and we mentioned to them that we are not opposed to this bill. But we would like to implore them that going forward, the remaining policy documents must come to this House before the bills come, so that the consideration is done in tandem. Mr. Speaker, let me deal with the 4 substantive issues that we want to raise on this side of the House. First is the fact that we are of the view, respectfully, that a 24-hour economy authority is totally unnecessary for the purposes of delivering a 24-hour economy. And we say this with great respect. We don't mean this in a disrespectful way. Mr. Speaker, 6 of the biggest cities that operate 24-hour economies, New York, Tokyo, London, Bangkok, Dubai, Berlin, none of them started off with a 24-hour economy authority. In fact, it's only London that has a commission years after the fact to attempt to support the functioning of a 24-hour economy. What this bill does, contrary to what it advertises to the youth in this country, that the government promised a 24-hour economy and they've brought the law for the 24-hour economy. What this bill actually does is that it sets up a bureaucracy, an authority with a chief executive, an internal auditor, hundreds of staff, board. They're going to ask for a budget and spend. But with the greatest of respect, this authority does not deliver a 24-hour economy in any way. And so, Mr. Speaker, if anybody is under the illusion that what the government has done is to bring a bill that will give life to the 24-hour economy, we would like to serve notice, and notice is hereby served. This bill does not deliver a 24-hour economy. It only sets up an authority, a new bureaucracy, which will not deliver a 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, if it is about the accelerated export development, that has been mentioned by my colleagues, there's already GEPA, fully funded, working, opening trade houses in other parts of the world. This is not the body that will accelerate export development. In fact, this ends up being a duplication. We don't want to say it's just going to create jobs for the boys, for those who have not been appointed in government so far. We will say that. But this is just a duplication. If it's about export, accelerated export development, it's just a duplication. It is neither going to create a 24-hour economy nor accelerate exports. Now, Mr. Speaker, some of the earlier colleagues on the other side claim that they were shocked that we were suggesting we haven't seen what they promised reflected in this bill. And we are shocked that they are shocked. Because, Mr. Speaker, when they advertised the 24-hour economy, they had a very clear, unambiguous definition for the millions of Ghanaian youth to hear. They said they were going to introduce a system that will allow people to work around the clock, 133. We remember the launch of your manifesto when His Excellency the President, then candidate, had the clock behind him. 133. One job, 3 staff, 3 shifts. Mr. Speaker, we have read this bill from clause 1 to clause 28. There is no mention whatsoever from clause 1 to 28. There is no mention of an around-the-clock working cycle. There is no mention of it here. If there's any Ghanaian youth out there who labors under the apprehension that what the government has brought is about 24-hour working cycle, please read it. It's not in it. Honorable Adongo attempted to give us a variation that 24-hour could mean 133 or 2.2 or something. Whichever way you keep it, Mr. Speaker, it is not in this bill. So again, the claim that this bill is going to enable people work around the clock, increase productivity and create more jobs, this bill does not respond to that. It's a fallacy. Mr. Speaker, now let me go to the issue of agencies. In their manifesto, they actually listed agencies that they were going to have work for 24 hours, DVLA, customs, etc., as has been mentioned. None of these agencies is mentioned in this. Not one. Not one. AG. Not one of these agencies is mentioned in this. But if indeed this bill is to compel government agencies to work around the clock, you should be listing them here. None of it is here. In fact, Mr. Speaker, if you read the functions of the authority that they have listed, please permit me to read the functions. Section 3. Promote the optimization of volume, variety, and quality of products produced in the country for domestic consumption and export. Is that 24-hour economy? Promote the development of micro, small, and medium-scale enterprise sector. Is that 24-hour economy? Promote the role of micro, small, and medium-scale enterprise. MBSSI was doing that. Is that 24-hour economy? The closest you will find is in subclause K, and it says, propose the incentive regime applicable to companies operating in the 24-hour economy value chain, including fiscal and monetary incentives. What is the Finance Ministry doing? What is the Trade Ministry doing? So, Mr. Speaker, this authority they want to create, with the greatest of respect, is totally unnecessary if the purpose is to enable the economy function for 24 hours and allow people to work around the clock. The 133 they spoke about is nowhere here. The agencies they've mentioned politically on platforms is nowhere here in this bill. Mr. Speaker, the minister responsible for roads said thousands of jobs have already been created under the 24-hour economy. He said that a few minutes here ago. But out of respect for the rules, we did not want to rise up and challenge him. We would have been pleased if he had given us examples of those thousands of jobs that have been created under the 24-hour economy already. This is a house of records. How can you say that today there are thousands of jobs that have already been created under the 24-hour economy? Then why are your youth complaining that no jobs have been created? Thousands of jobs have already been created. Mr. Speaker, that's a palpable untruth. He went ahead to say that there are already contractors that are working 24 hours in Ghana. Mr. Speaker, I would have been happy if he had named one. We would have gone there at 2 a.m. with our cameras to find out if he's really working 24 hours around the clock. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Mr. Speaker, the real reason for which they are promulgating this authority, and we have come to that view, is just to buy time. From January 2025 till February 2026, the 24-hour economy has become a hoax. And they know very well that it is not going to bear fruit. So what they are doing is creating an impression in the minds of Ghanaian youth that we are now creating an authority. The authority is working. They are now starting. It is coming. It is not coming anywhere. What they have put in this document will not create a 24-hour economy. My last 2 points, Mr. Speaker. I was shocked that after all the criticism of the 1D, 1F policy, that policy was not coherent because it was relying on the private sector. I was shocked to read in paragraph 4, page 2 of the memo to this bill. Mr. Speaker, line 8 says, furthermore, the program is delivered by the direct entrepreneurial efforts of organized private citizens acting through their as well as community-based organizations, acting through their collectives, cooperatives, companies, and other industry associations, as well as community-based organizations, rather than the public servants. Mr. Speaker, what they are actually saying is that if you are hoping that the public sector is what will deliver 24-hour economy, forget. They are waiting for the private sector. Because the claim was that they were going to ensure that public organizations were working 24 hours. Now the bill comes before us and you say you are waiting for the private sector. This is disappointing news to the millions of youth who believed the promises that you made. Mr. Speaker, now we come to the conclusion that if this is what it is all about, then the 1B1F program was a whole lot better than this 24-hour economy bill which they have brought before us. Mr. Speaker, the NDPC of the Republic of Ghana, not me, has reported that at least 150 functioning factories were left at the end of 2024. Not me, the NDPC reports it. It's in the annual progress report of the NDPC. You may want to quarrel with them, not me. They didn't require an authority to do this. The same ministries that were functioning were the ones providing the incentives. If all that we are going to do is to create this bureaucracy, pay all these monies, and now wait for the private sector to come, then, Mr. Speaker, we are doing ourselves a big disservice. It is their policy. They have decided this is how they want to implement it. We will not be opposed to it. We will help them to fine-tune the bill. But, Mr. Speaker, we caution them in good faith that if this is what they hope will deliver a 24-hour economy, this will not. They still have time to reconsider and come up with something that can deliver. The last time we had a conversation about bill, regulator and operator, they will be in trouble. Mr. Speaker, until we say Fofia and Twata, we've seen the trouble that has come. And now we are waiting to take the motion for the parliamentary inquiry. Our prayer is that this doesn't become another such incident where they will refuse to listen, only for us a few months down the line to find ourselves in a place where we've passed the bill, we've created authority, people have been paid, they've bought cars, and no 24-hour economy has been created. Mr. Speaker, with these few words, we will support their report and we will help them to pass their bill, but we pray that they help to fine-tune it so that it delivers what they promised. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.